don't never spend my Bitcoin right now until it raises to where I think it needs to be. Remember that number, 100 million. I firmly bet my life that not in my lifetime, but maybe in my children's lifetime, that one Bitcoin today that's worth 40,000 is gonna be worth about $100 million. So what do? I buy and stack for my kids. You can stack for your future.
Hello everyone, hello, and welcome to Ahead of the Crypto Curve. I am your host, Najah Roberts, where we are creating Satoshi millionaires, one family at a time, one Bitcoin at a time, one Satoshi at a time, and that means you. I am so excited about being here today. This is Monday, and we are the second hour of your midday money chain, and you all just heard from Lynn Richardson, and she does an incredible job just talking to us about all the things that we need to be doing in the mindset. And it is just an incredible weekend. There's a lot of things happening in cryptocurrency, and we definitely are going to bring you some of that chatter today, because we know that in the crypto space, you have to keep up with what's going on. You have to always be on your toes. And we're going to make sure that our community, the Black and Brown community, gets what we need at all times. That being said, it is still Women's Her Story Month. In observance of that, I found a quote, and the quote says, "There is something so special about a woman who dominates in a man's world. It takes a certain grace, strength, intelligence, fearlessness, and the nerve to never take no for an answer." And that comes from our very own Rihanna. And in this man's world that we're in, this weekend, I had an opportunity to go to Vermont, out to the snow. There was a snowstorm and it's freezing. Super excited to be back in Southern California, but the beauty of the snow was there. But on the way back, I got a chance to watch the documentary about Ruth Ginsburg, and that RGB, and learning about how they were just saying notorious RGB. I really never knew about her story. Never really knew about what it was, her entire story. We know that she was an advocate for women and some of the fabulous things that she did, but I never really had an opportunity to sit down and watch from start to finish how she raised her family, how her husband was so supportive, and all of the things that she did for women. And as we close out this, I know we're at the middle of the month and not towards the end, but as we go forward in this month, in Women's Her Story Month, I'm really going to start to bring some things into proper perspective as it relates to RGB and what she actually did and what she brought to our country. And I'm just really excited about some of the things that she did, because they really tied into the civil rights movement. I think that she was able to catapult off the back of the civil rights movement and make the moves that she was making, because she was strategically thinking and looking at some of the things that were being done by some of those justices that were already in place and some of those attorneys that were already litigating in the space. And so to that end, I will be sharing a little bit more about how I think she fits into our crypto space and what we're doing strategically. She was very strategic. So I'm also going to recognize today a fabulous lady in cryptocurrency, and she is located in another country, and her name is Alakanunani, and she is over in Africa. They call her the Bitcoin lady. So if you want to look her up, you can look at her at Bitcoin lady. I believe she's at Bitcoin lady on all social medias. She is actually the founder of what is called the Satoshi Center over in Africa. And it is a community-owned Bitcoin startup incubator that's focused on mentorship, training, coding camps, and teaching initiatives around Bitcoin and the second layer of technologies. And the more we move into this educational space, the more you're going to learn about Bitcoin layer 1 and Bitcoin layer 2, because that technology is becoming more and more notable. And so we're going to start to learn about that, and we'll have some people on to share with you what the second layer of Bitcoin actually means. But this Satoshi Center that she built is Africa's first blockchain-based fundraising platform. And it is really fueling Ani's dream to bring decentralization to Botswana. And so this is an incredible task that she's taken on, and she's doing very good and being very successful. One of the quotes she said is, "All I dream of is decentralization, financial freedom in the hands of the people. Satoshi Center is the home for decentralization. We aim one day to empower blockchain startups around Africa." And again, that word decentralization stands out to me. We're going to talk about decentralization because as you continue in this space, as you learn about all things cryptocurrency, NFT, metaverse, it is imperative that our community understands how important it is to walk in the space of decentralization. And again, I can't say it enough. We can look at Canada, we can look at Russia, we can look at Ukraine, we can look at all the things that are going on. And to have a decentralized platform is all the power that you need to make things happen. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, we're going to be getting the crypto scoop, and we're going to be finding out what's happening out here in these crypto streets and how it relates to you and your family. When we come forward, this is KBLA Talk 1580. Hey, everybody. I just want to say, before we go through this, just say thank you to each and every one of you for your support. I know when you're learning about cryptocurrency and we're trying to figure out where we need to go, what we need to do to fit in, what we need to download. And I know we've asked you all to download some things, but I'm going to take a second really quickly and ask you to ask a friend or family member to please download the KBLA app. If they're not listening on KBLA, I don't care where they are in the world, send them a text message and ask them to download the KBLA app. I appreciate that. But also, last week, we asked you to go on your computer and we asked you to download this specific app or go to this website.
Now, the website is Binks.com. That's BINKX. Now, we were talking about giving away a prize, right? A pair of AirPods.
Yes, we were.
And a t-shirt, right? Digital Financial Revolution t-shirt. She's wearing it right now. It looks good.
Yes.
So, let's do this. So now the winner is actually, I don't want to say the full name. I want to say the first name. It's Angelique. Now let's give her a call and see if she's actually around.
All right. And so while he's doing that, ladies and gentlemen, it pays. You get a, he was giving away AirPods, and all you had to do was download this app. But he's going to call her right now. We're going to see if she answers and let her know live on here that we are, that she was a winner. Let's see if she answers. Her name is Angelique. So,
Hello, Angelique.
Yes.
How's it going? This is Enrique and Najah from KBLA.
Hi, how are you?
So you are the winner of the AirPods and the Digital Financial Revolution t-shirt. Just want to say that. And you're on air.
Oh.
Just want to tell you that.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, there you go. Don't say you never won nothing, right?
I definitely will never say that.
All right.
Well, we're glad and congratulations, Angelique, for winning those AirPods and for downloading that app. And we want you to know that we appreciate you. We appreciate you listening in. And we want to, I'm just going to ask you, because we have you quickly on air and it does sound clear. Are there any questions that you would like, or is there a question that you would like to ask about crypto that you've been burning to ask and hadn't had an opportunity? Is there anything?
I just want to know, like, what's the best crypto for me to invest? Well, I don't know if you can answer that, but, you know, the best one for me to invest in as a single mom that's getting ready to send her son off to college in 2 years and to prepare him.
Absolutely. So I can speak on that for sure. So I'm not a financial advisor. providing any financial advice, but Angelique, what I can tell you is Bitcoin is your best bet at this point. And that's just what I would do for my family. Now, as it relates to your son, we have a lot of connections with folks that are dealing with some of the HBCUs and dealing with cryptocurrency and helping our youth to understand what that looks like for their future, what it looks like in tech. So not only have you won those AirPods, we're going to make sure that we get with you so we can help, as your son has 2 years left before he goes off to college, to make sure that we're, helping you put some things in order so that his college experience can be the best and you can really utilize cryptocurrency to catapult that. And we're going to make sure we do that for you. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. So Enrique will be back in contact with you since he has your number. He'll call you after the show. But thank you. And you have an incredible rest of your day, sister.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right. So we got our winner. So now when we ask you all to download things and there is something at stake, especially KBLA is having this phenomenal event at the end of the month for all of the women out there to come and break bread with all of the women talent that are on KBLA. So all you have to do is download the app and tell them who your favorite woman in history is, and you will actually get a special invitation to come and meet all the women at KBLA. It's a special Sunday brunch. It's going to be on March 27th. So if you download the app, you can do that as well for those of you that are in Los Angeles, and we will take care of you in that way. But I'm super excited about her winning those AirPods because I just went through the airport this weekend because I lost the AirPod and had to buy another set. That's $300 or something. So that is a great, great, great prize. So again, Enrique and Binks, thank you for that. And again, Angelique, we appreciate you and congratulations. So next, we're going to really jump into things that are happening in these crypto streets. And with the Crypto Scoop, what it's designed to do is help keep you abreast of all the news and the things that are happening, because a lot of people are always asking, what creates the price? What creates the price going up and down? Is it the news? Is it something somebody says? What is it? And to be quite honest, none of us have a crystal ball, but all we can do is look at past performance, and we can look at things that have happened in the news where people may be kind of sitting back waiting to see what cryptocurrency does or what Bitcoin does specifically. And so something important happened last night at midnight. Mr. Elon Musk of Tesla actually sent out a tweet, and his tweet basically said, as a general principle, for those looking for advice from this thread, it is generally better to own physical things like a home or stock in companies you think may make good products than dollars when inflation is high. And as we all know, inflation is high right now. And so he also indicated that he would be holding on to his cryptocurrencies. So he made this statement: I still own and won't sell my Bitcoin, my Ethereum, or my Dogecoin. And as a result of that, I'm just going to say this. Elon Musk, in my opinion, loves attention. He loves you all to give him attention. He loves to say things to try to move different markets and make things happen. And, and some of us that are more vulnerable than others, I always say, do as folks do and not as they say, because before, if you remember, he was stating that he was selling all his Bitcoin. He was getting rid of, but all of a sudden he still has it, which is what I was telling you all a year ago when he was saying he was selling his Bitcoin and that carrying on, and he only was using he did say the Dogecoin was only for his son because he knew it was a joke. But that being said, I just wanted to share that with you because he is trying to influence the market again. And so, folks are looking to him to see what they should do and what cryptocurrencies they should buy. So when you're looking and listening to him saying, he's going to hold on to his Bitcoin, his Ethereum, and his Dogecoin, you want to make sure that you pick the one or two of those coins that you can deal with. But I still want to make sure you understand that Dogecoin is not going to do anything more than what it's doing. And I'm just going to, since Enrique was here today to kind of make sure that he was able to give that out to Angelique. I want him to kind of chime in on Elon Musk and what he's been doing in this space for the last year or two.
Well, just to add a little bit to that, right? So some of the background on him is he actually was one of the founders of PayPal. I don't know if you guys know that, which is one of the very first, I don't want to say internet money, but it was one of the first transaction services that was popular online. So now think about it. He was part of what they called the PayPal Mafia. So if you're curious, go ahead and Google PayPal Mafia and you'll learn a whole lot of what this guy Elon Musk did and how he made his money, before he got into the space race and all that. Now, obviously, we should be listening to people and see what they do, just like Ms. Najah is always saying for us. So if we look at what he's doing right now and what he's talking about, he's saying that we can sell our physical things, but not crypto, right? Why is he saying that? It's the same story from before. He's talking about liabilities versus assets, right? There are certain things that are liabilities, like a car. Most cars don't go up in value. They actually cost you money. So you think yourself, I got 3 cars, I'm okay. But guess what? Every year, how much are you paying in insurance? Costs of maintenance. All of those things that are not making money for you, right? So we want to make sure that we put our money into assets that create wealth for us. Now, I'm not saying it has to be Bitcoin. Maybe you're into stocks. Maybe you're into gold. Maybe you are into crypto or a certain type. But you got to make sure that you are putting your money into assets that are building wealth.
Absolutely, absolutely. And thank you for that. And as a result of him making that comment, ladies and gentlemen, young Harriet is going to shine some light on you. For those who are still holding on to Dogecoin, thinking that it is going to go to $1, I am going to give you a quick news flash. It jumped 7% overnight because of what Elon Musk said. However, it would take all the money in this entire world for Dogecoin to go to $1. So for those cousins out there that are running around telling you Dogecoin is jumping, the price is jumping, it's going back. No. And I'm not a financial advisor, but I am giving you this advice. That ain't the coin. It's not the one, and will never be the one, because the supply versus demand. There is so much Dogecoin out there and so much is being created every 10 minutes. You do not want to get yourself involved in that. You do not want to lose money. So if you don't hear anything else we're saying to you today, Dogecoin is not the one that you need to be investing in and holding on to. So that's young Harriet shedding some light on that for you. But one other thing that people have been sitting around waiting on around the world is the EU was supposed to put together a cryptocurrency bill that was supposed to vote and ban proof of work. Bitcoin is a proof of work coin. And, I understand we've got a lot of learning to do. We've got a lot of breaking down of terms to do. But I will tell you that those folks that have money that have been dealing in the EU have been sitting back saying, oh, my goodness, if the EU bans Bitcoin, we're in big trouble. So what do we do? And they were supposed to be bringing this bill forward for them to sign today. And guess what? That bill is on its way without banning Bitcoin. I just want to say this is the finalized version of this major bill in the EU, and it ignited a lot of controversy over the last couple of weeks, which in my opinion is why Bitcoin had been just kind of holding steady, because people are trying to see what these governments, what these different territories are going to say about proof of work consensus and the mechanism. And it's headed to vote today. And inside of it, ladies and gentlemen, is not them banning this proof of work, which would have been, some folks think, catastrophic to the Bitcoin space. But we didn't, because we know eventually everyone is going to have to come around. So we weren't worried. But I will let you take a deep breath to understand that you definitely don't have to worry about them banning Bitcoin at all, or any other proof of work mechanism. So we're excited about that as well. And I think that we'll start to see the price of Bitcoin just slowly, even if it trades sideways, ladies and gentlemen. Again, talking about mindset, please know that it is no big deal that Bitcoin is not flying through the roof right now. It gives you an opportunity to purchase a little bit more, just dollar cost average, get a little bit more under your belt. It allows you to do those things. And again, as crazy as people think I am when I say I am happy to see the price of Bitcoin low, not necessarily for those of you who bought it when it was at 60,000, but for those of you who are looking at this long term. We're talking 5 years. I'm saying 5 years at the most, but some people say 5 to 10 years. We're talking about long term. What is this digital space going to look like in 5 to 10 years, man? We cannot understand. We cannot comprehend a digital cashless society, but we are definitely on our way. So this bill that's going into for signature today in the EU is going to be good for other parts of the world, but it's also going to be good here because it also brings validity to what we're saying about Bitcoin and proof of work. There is a difference because there's something called proof of stake, which we can talk about that a little bit more when we bring on someone who has a proof of stake mechanism. There is a big difference, and we want our community to be well versed at that. But we're going to just make sure that you get the news that you need. And we're also going to make sure that every single day, even after we're off for the hour, that you're able to go in, get news, you're able to feel the temperature of this cryptocurrency space. And ladies and gentlemen, the best way you're going to get it is through looking at news companies that deal in the crypto space. So I'm not saying go to Wall Street Journal and look at crypto news, or Forbes for that matter, even though Forbes seems to have hired some really good people to talk about cryptocurrency. I'm talking about going to bitcoinnews.com, Telegraph, some of the news outlets that are bred around cryptocurrency, or what you need to subscribe to. So if you can get some of these things into your inbox, it'll be a great idea. One of the other things, if there's something that you're interested in looking at in this cryptocurrency space that you want to know about on a daily basis, let's just say it's blockchain. Did you know you can actually set up a Google alert? And every time the word blockchain is mentioned in the news, it'll send you all the newspaper articles about blockchain. If it's Bitcoin, if it's KBLA, you can do that as well. Anytime KBLA is mentioned in the news, you will get that article to your Google Gmail. So with that being said, when we come forward, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about the 10 keys to success in cryptocurrency. And I'm going to ask Enrique to stay in and hang out with me. And we're going to go back and forth about 10 keys to success in cryptocurrency when we come forward. This is KBLA Talk 1580. This is Ahead of the Crypto Curve, and this is Najah Roberts, aka Young Harriet, and I have Enrique with me today. And again, congratulations to Angelique for winning those AirPods and the t-shirt.
That's right.
So we'll get that to her. So today we're going to talk about 10 keys to success in the cryptocurrency space. And so one of the first things that I would like for you all to do, because this first one is really about mindset, really taking a breath and getting yourself organized. As you get into cryptocurrency, it's a daunting task. There are sites to download. You got to remember where passwords are. You have to store your seed words. And really the biggest thing that I can share with you all is that you should be organized. So what I've done or created, and this is something that you can do on your own, is just a simple spreadsheet. Now, you don't have to put your passwords on that spreadsheet, but let's say you open yourself a Binance account. You might put Binance there, and you may put today's date, and you may put that you bought $10 worth of Bitcoin on Binance. You don't necessarily have to have all the information on this spreadsheet. Again, you don't want everything in the same place like your passwords and things like that, but you want to get organized. so that you can go back and reconciliate. Nothing is like when I first got started and I had all these, I'm serious, I had over 30 exchanges because I was a coinaholic. I was trying to buy every coin everybody was telling me about. And when I looked up, I had joined 30 exchanges. I had given my information out, my KYC, my Know Your Customer, all over the place. But I had no idea where my repo coin was located, where my Disney coin was located, where this was located. And I had to kind of wrangle myself in. But while you're starting, if you put together a database to keep yourself organized, it would help. I have an actual platform that I pay for that helps pull all my APIs together that show where all my different coins are, because I still do own coins. Even though I'm a recovering coinaholic, there are coins that I still own. That's because I'm on exchanges that no longer do business in the United States, and I can't even pull my coins off. But just think about forgetting about those exchanges. Like, you have so many exchanges out there, you forget that you have coins. That's happened to me as well. So I'm just asking that each and every one of you really get organized so that you can have some sort of structure in this space, even if you're just buying Bitcoin, but knowing where that Bitcoin is, whether it's you've moved it to your ledger, or whether let's just even say if you downloaded or moved your Bitcoin from Binance onto your ledger, but for some reason there was some dust there. They call it dust. So you may have, let's just say, $100 in Bitcoin, but it only allows you to take off $90.50, let's just say. And so you know that you have some Bitcoin left on that exchange. You just don't want to leave it there. You want to make yourself a note that you still have some remnants of Bitcoin left on that exchange, so that later on down the line, when those Satoshis that were left over are now worth $100, $200, $300 because the price of Bitcoin has gone up, you know where to go back to. But you've got to get organized in this space. Organization is one of the critical things. And Enrique, feel free to jump in if you like.
There's that old acronym, right? Keep it KISS, right? Keep it simple, Shirley.
Not stupid.
Right, exactly. I said Shirley.
Yes, definitely.
So, I mean, there's levels to this, obviously, right? So you want to make sure that, if you're just, kind of dabbling, you're only like one or two exchanges, but definitely make sure that they are exchanges that have liquidity. What does that mean? You want to make sure that you can pull your Bitcoin at any time. If there is any moment where they say, oh, you know what, at this moment you can't pull it out, that's probably not the exchange you want to be on. You want to make sure you have liquidity all the time. Now, she talked about keeping a nice little spreadsheet. I do that too. And I'm running a company. I'm not even really trying to organize all my crypto. So you definitely want to keep it KISS.
Yes, keep it simple, special people. We're special. We're not going to use those other words. So thank you very much for that, Enrique. The second thing I don't want you to do is focusing on growth. Now, I know in the financial service industry, that is one of the things that they tell you, and I'm going to tell you the complete opposite. The only growth I want you to be focusing on is the growth of your Satoshi count. So if you're stacking and stacking and stacking, focus on that growth. What can you do to acquire more Satoshis? But I don't want you to look at it and be like, oh my God, the price is up, the price is down, the price is up, the price is down, because that is going to drive you nuts, and it's going to drive you based on what you're used to thinking about and not thinking about what the future looks like ahead. And I just want you to liken this to your 401k. You're not opening your 401k statements every day saying the price of my fund went up, the price of my fund went down, because first of all, they're not even going to tell you about it. But secondly, you just don't want to do that because you're investing in your 401k for the long haul. This Bitcoin thing is for the long haul. And again, we won't get into anything that has to do with the 401k, but I want you to think of mindset wise. So not focusing on the actual growth of the price of it going up and down, but focusing more on grabbing those Satoshis.
If I could just add, one thing I hear a lot, in this space is people saying, oh, I could have bought it when it was 10 grand Or I had X amount of Bitcoins 2 years ago. And then they tell you the horror story about how they sold it because they went on vacation or they spent it on a car. And there's a certain amount of regret there, obviously, right? That we all have. Now, we call it education actually here. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's just the price of college to get educated on Bitcoin. Tuition, exactly. Yes. So don't feel bad. Me and Najah have made those mistakes, and we can tell you all the stories you want about that. So what we're trying to say is don't get too complicated. Just go buy your Bitcoin, put it in your own private wallet, okay? Focus on the growth. Don't try to grab every straw you can.
Definitely. And one of the other things that we want you to do is minimize non-productive activity in this cryptocurrency space. There are people all over the place, all over YouTube, all over everywhere, doing TikToks and giving bad financial advice. And a lot of them are doing it for the followers. They're monetizing on you being on different platforms. I'm just going to ask our community to try to get centrally located for your information. I'm not saying you need to get all the information from me here on the Head of the Crypto Curve and KBLA, but you need to get in a circle of people who are like-minded so that you don't get pulled off in and waste time. We don't have one of the biggest assets we don't have time to do is waste of time. Time is one of the most valuable assets that we have, and I really do not want our community to be into non-productive things. Getting involved and trying to figure out how Dogecoin works and if it's going to go to $1 is non-productive activity. Let me help save you a quick 2, 3, 4, 10 days. It is not productive. So don't get involved in that. So ladies and gentlemen, that is 3 of our 10. So when we come forward, we're going to talk about what other things, the other 7 things that you can do to be productive in this cryptocurrency space. If you want to call in, you absolutely can. Our number is 800-920-1580. Again, that number is 800-920-1580. And this is KBLA Talk 1580. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about the 10 keys to success in cryptocurrency. And one of them is something that's near and dear to me, and that's absolutely working together. I believe that one foot in the door in this space is everyone's foot in the door, because as we get insight, as we grow, as we have paid our tuition, those people behind us should not have to pay tuition because we already know better, so we can help you do better. But as you grow up in this cryptocurrency space, it is imperative that we begin to work together, that we begin to talk to those, even though you don't know much in this cryptocurrency space, at least start to try to educate those around you, your family members, your friends. I don't know if you're in a sorority or a fraternity or you have a community organization. Start to drop a seed in their ear. And we have to work together to educate. It's not just about one person educating. Yes, you can tell them to download the KBLA app and listen live at 1:00, and we'd love to have them. But we really need to start working together in this community, black and brown, anyone who is willing to bring our community into the know in this space. We need to start working with, and this is not like any other industry that I know. You know, some of these other industries are crabs in the barrel, but what I found in this crypto space is that a lot of us really do pull together and work together for the common good of educating our community. So you must do that as well. Don't get all this information and hoard it and keep it to yourself. We have got to work together because we have a short window of time, and our community deserves to know what is taking place. And we've got to make sure that everybody knows about it. And so as Enrique and I sit here today, I'm black, he's brown in this space. We know that working together with our community is what we've got to do. You want to shed any light on that?
Well, I mean, it's been a wonderful experience with Najah. I went down to her office and she was, so open to help me and to help me understand so we can work together. So it really, it's the only way that we're going to be able to make this happen for us, because if we don't do it for ourselves, guess what? they're going to be the ones, the CEOs. They're going to be the ones with all of the Bitcoin. And we're going to be sitting there just trying to get whatever handouts are left. So we really need to help each other out, work together to be able to push this space and make it happen.
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. And one of the other things that I want to say is reinvesting of profits. Now let's talk about this. So some folks are in this NFT space. And again, no matter how you come into this space, I don't want to say one way or the other if it's wrong or right. But I will say that as you get profits from these different things that you may or may not be doing, I would suggest that you reinvest them in Bitcoin, in BTC, buy some Satoshis. So if you're selling and doing some things in the NFT space and you make some money, and it just may be in any of these other blockchains, please, family, start to think about reinvesting in Satoshis, because Satoshis, which are the smallest increments of Bitcoin, may not be as readily available as they are right now today. Just like there's a saying, you are never going to be as young and as healthy as you are right now this minute. There are not going to be as many Satoshis readily available for you as there are right now this minute. And so we want our community specifically to really stack and hold on to your Bitcoin. So ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, we're going to go over a couple of other things that you're going to need to do to have success in this cryptocurrency space, and reinvesting whatever profit you get, wherever you get it in this space, back into Bitcoin is a great suggestion from me. This is KBLA Talk 1580. All right. And here we are with our 10 keys to success in the cryptocurrency space. And one of the things that I want to say, and I know you all are going to be like, what? But adding to this list is being charitable. I just believe what you give out is what you get back. And again, with working together, I guess these go hand in hand, but it can be a little bit separate. I believe that we really have got to be charitable in this space. In order for people to learn about Bitcoin and understand it, maybe it's going to take you giving that next door neighbor $10 worth of Satoshis on Cash App, just so they can see how well it transfers without having to go to a bank or anything like that. And I found myself early on in this space really giving out Bitcoin because I wanted people to understand how it works. And yes, we've given out probably way more than we had ever anticipated. And we don't look at it as we've lost that Bitcoin because it was part of the education process. But become charitable. Start to look at your youth groups, maybe at some of your churches or your religious organizations. Talk to them about downloading wallets, and you may just have to give out $10 worth of Bitcoin at those events. I do events all the time where I talk to returning citizens. I have them download wallets and I give them $10 worth of Bitcoin. That is my charity because I want to orange peel them. And we talked about what orange peel means. But in order to orange peel some folks, you got to show them. And so we want to talk about becoming charitable. Also, keep optimistic. Ladies and gentlemen, you have not lost in the Bitcoin space unless you sell your Bitcoin. I've heard so many people say, oh, I bought that Bitcoin thing and I lost it. Well, 9 times out of 10, you weren't even in the Bitcoin space. You were giving your money to somebody to buy Bitcoin to do something that you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. So you didn't lose Bitcoin. You lost in the Ponzi scheme that they had you involved in. But really stay optimistic. So even if you bought Bitcoin at 60 and right now it's not where you want it to be, stay optimistic, family, because that's the thing to do.
Yeah, staying optimistic. I mean, I remember when Bitcoin was literally $7,000. And back then people used to tell me, oh, it's too expensive. I don't want to buy it. So really think about that. Stay optimistic. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not saying Bitcoin is going to the moon. But what I am saying is that by staying optimistic in Bitcoin and being charitable, that's going to give you more value than anything else.
Yes. And I also want to say, in order to stay successful in cryptocurrency, is just continue to work hard in what you're currently doing and really allow us to gather the information and bring it back to you. I don't want you to get off focus. I don't want you to not be on your jobs performing the way that you are supposed to. We really want you to work hard at whatever you're doing, and we can help you. We'll help you. We'll be your guides on this end. Just continue to work hard with your family. Work hard and communicating with your families. Just really stay and be who you are. There is a space for you. Don't change up too much of what you're doing. We want you to just stay consistent and on the right path. And so with that, we want you to create. One of the other things we want you to do is create wealth in the long-term sense. This is a long-term play. This is definitely not short-term. And we are going to build wealth, because I've got to switch reels really, really quick, because we've got to do our daily dollar cost average. Ladies and gentlemen, on the Black Wall Street wallet, you're going to take it out. You're going to hit that purple circle with the arrows going both ways. You are going to buy $6 worth of Bitcoin today, like I'm going to do. And you are going to dollar cost average your way into your wealth. So we're going to do that on the Black Wall Street wallet. Ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. We have a phenomenal show coming up for you. The D.L. Hughley Show is up next. This is KBLA Talk 1580.